Hello lovelies and welcome to this week's video. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt fatigued, felt restless, maybe even sick to your stomach, felt like you couldn't do anything, couldn't concentrate, couldn't do any of the things that you had planned for the day, depressed, anxious, irritable, frustrated, angry, moody, any of that, headaches, migraines? Did you try any mindfulness techniques, any protection spells, or did you just not have the energy to even do that? Well, did you try checking what it is you are putting in your body? So we've talked about, in the empath video set, we have talked about mindfulness, meditation. We've talked about protection. We've talked about boundaries and relationships. We've talked about even Mercury retrograde. Hell, we've talked about pretty much everything. But we haven't really touched on what we're eating. Now, the majority of what we call food that is out on the market today has scientifically been shown through research to have effects on our central nervous system, our moods, anxiety, and our pineal gland. Our pineal gland is also our third eye, just so you know. So this video I am intending to continue for the empath video collection, but I am including others with it. I'm including other witches. I'm including other spiritualists, new agers, shamans, yogis, people that just do meditation, people who just might do spells but have no label. All of you, mediums, healers, this all has to do with you, because the foods and the fluids that we have been taking and putting into our bodies have a huge effect on every placement of our chakras. And all of us need our central nervous system to be working fine. We need our body to be functioning fine. And most importantly, we need our pineal gland, aka the third eye, to be at its most heightened possible placement. Now, before I get started, many of you might be saying, okay, I get it, but I'm really broke and I can only afford this or that or blah-de-da-de-da. Yeah, when I ended up being a single mother and my like $800 a month that I was getting at the time was going to be covering both of us, I had the same thought. Plus, I'm no longer living in a big city where things are so easy to come by. But you would be actually surprised at your options of what you can do, which I will get to at the end. It is possible, especially if you try and take a little bit of time to do it yourself, and it doesn't take as much preparation as people think. And even if you cannot afford, or nor do you want to, fully do the clean diet, you don't have to, but do as much as you can, as much as possible, so that you can be the best you, mentally, physically, and psychically. So to get started, I'm gonna talk about a few things that are specific towards the pineal gland, or the third eye. So berries are very, very important, fresh berries. And I'm going to just mention this real quickly before I get started. Actually, I should have done this first, because I don't have this one scripted at all, or an outline, so I'm just kind of going with it. Try and get as organic as possible. And again, it's expensive. I get that. That's why get as much organic as you can afford, and then get the rest not organic, and those being things where it's not that big of a deal if it's not organic necessarily. things that are okay, and I'm putting this right as disclaimer right now, things that are okay if you are on a budget to buy that are not organic are things such as avocados, bananas, anything that has a thick, when we're talking about produce, anything that has like a thick outer coating, it'll be fine. If you're saying, oh, well, I don't care about GMOs, okay, well, maybe you don't care about GMOs even though it is affecting our body, but that's for a whole different discussion. The pesticides that are used in non-organic gardening do have a complete effect on our pineal glands and on our nervous systems and on how we function. And again, I get it. It's expensive, so do as much as you can. We all choose our poisons. If you need a Red Bull or an energy drink, or you need to get something quick, do it. But try your damnedest to stay away from that fast food restaurant. Anyways, so back to the pineal gland. Fresh fruits, mainly berries. Berries are so great for opening up the pineal gland and the third eye. When you make a homemade fruit smoothie, or you go to a place that you know is like a health place, blah da da, and they have like a fruit smoothie and they give it to you and you taste that, you can taste that pure fruit just going through your body, and it just feels like such a cleansing experience. And acai, I never can pronounce, like everyone pronounces it different, but acai, pomegranate are especially great for the pineal gland and the third eye. Another is seaweed. Now, many of you might be like, okay, I don't want to eat seaweed. I am so used to my overly processed diet of Doritos and bacon cheeseburgers and blah de da de da. I don't want to eat seaweed. That's like for mermaids. Okay, then here is something to start you off. Take steps. So you can use spirulina, and you can put it in a smoothie that you make at home, and you can make it quick. You can use any blender. You put it in. You can even get it where you don't need to even put it in a blender, and you can just mix it in with a fluid of your choice, or milk of your choice, which we'll get to milk in a minute here. So yeah, you won't even taste it. They have various flavors, and you can mix in fruits, you can mix in chia seeds, all those kind of things. Which brings me to the next thing for the pineal gland, third eye specific, is making fruit homemade smoothies or green smoothies, anything like that. The whole smoothie, clean, cleanse diets that you hear about, those are so detoxifying and cleansing and purifying. It's extremely unbelievable. It will fully open your whole being. Like, you will have no idea what has come over you. You will have more energy, which is very important for empaths especially, because we get so drowned out, like fatigued quick from being empaths. Any type of time we do magic, it takes so much energy out of us. So eating this way, making these smoothies, the green smoothies, putting in spinach, kale, seaweed, but then putting in some fruits, putting in some protein powders, all these different things, you might be thinking, oh, that sounds disgusting, it sounds horrible. But when you mix it and then you put other things in with it, like maybe some apples or other berries or strawberries or something sweet, something that you like, and you cover up the taste with that, you won't know that, hey, you're drinking spinach, drinking seaweed there, bud. You got some kale in you. But it does the job, and it's a quick way to transition yourself into the clean diet. Next, so spinach, veggies, just fruit and veggies are very important. And then eat as little meat as you possibly can. Stay away from red meats. Red meats clog us. They bring us, our energy systems down. Specifically beef. And it's not as much if you get it from a local butcher who, you know, doesn't do any of those extra hormones or any of that extra nonsense they do nowadays to our animals. And I'm not talking about the treatment of animals, though. I very much care about that. I'm also talking about just in general the things that are put into them prior to them being murdered and after. Really changes us. Our hormone systems get different, our moodiness levels. There's been a rise in stomach and, for lack of a better word, butt cancer, since the changes in our meat, the amount of meat consumption, as well as the meat industry have occurred. Chicken, same thing, be very weary. So red meat, try and cut out fully. And I know if you're somebody that lives in the state I do, this might be hard for you and you may not want to do it, so I recommend trying then to just slowly cut it out, or do replacements. Like, if you love bacon, try turkey bacon. And I know that's not part of the the cleanse diet, the clean food diet, love it. But I'm trying to work here with you to help you get to a point where you can be the best and highest vibrating you that you can. Chicken, you got to be very careful about where you get your chicken. If you're going to continue eating chicken, please try getting that organic or growing your own or something of that nature. But don't go to McDonald's and eat that chicken if you're going to eat chicken for the love of goddesses and gods and all that's good. The food or the meat animal product that I will personally say is okay, and I've seen in the clean food diet being constantly okayed by people that are not fully vegetarian or vegan that participate in it, is fish. Fish is good for you. Fish is good for your brain, good for your pineal gland. Watch out for ones that would come from areas that may have higher mercury. However, don't deep fry it, because that kind of ruins the whole idea of clean food. I could go on and on and on about just the meat, because, yeah. I will tell you this, and this is not me pushing an agenda, because I'm not like that, and I wasn't when I was a vegan, and now I'm just a vegetarian, but I'm not pushing. But the time in my life when I had the highest energy, the best intuition, that was able to get the most done, I was getting a 4.0 in my undergrad, was involved in at least 5 different organizations, activist type organizations, doing so many various things, was when I was raw vegan. I'm just gonna say it. It's really hard to be raw vegan. It's hard to keep up with. You can't really go out with friends ever, depending on where you live. Thankfully, I lived in Milwaukee at the time, and there were ways. But raw vegan, really, I was at my highest vibration. Yeah. So that leads me to the milk aspect. First of all, we are the only animals that eat or drink milk. Another animal's milk. I think there might be one more, but I'm not sure. And again, this is not me trying to push an agenda on you. This is me talking about clean food and trying to help you open your chakras, help your nervous system, help your pineal gland, and help you as empaths, healers, and other gifted people. The milk that is being sold to us in stores today is full of so much stuff that is not good for you. I could go on into detail, but this video is already getting too long. If you'd like to know more, you can message me. Maybe I'll do a continuation of the clean food diet and talk about one area at a time, and actually maybe talk about what the clean food diet itself is in general, instead of just giving tips like I am right now. But milk, you feel a lot of people feel very, ugh. And there's been studies that show that, I don't remember the exact number, I wish I would have looked it up before, but it's way over 50% of Americans are at least lactose sensitive, and that will lead me into the gluten thing that I'm going to go into, but that has more to do with the amount of consumption that we take and what is in the product now, and how much milk byproducts and gluten byproducts or wheat byproducts that we've been putting in our food where it doesn't necessarily need to be, and it's part of the processed food thing. And like 6 years ago, if you were to have gotten, for example, a chip, these items would not be in there, but now they are. So I suggest almond milk, cashew milk, or coconut milk. It's up to you. There are certain people that have problems with certain ones of them, which gets into a whole other discussion that I'm not going to get into right now, but those are some options that you can have. Now you might be thinking, okay, it's a little more expensive, okay, it tastes different. You get used to the taste. It's not that bad. If you're really worried about taste, to be honest, I have not drinking straight real milk since I was 13. I am shocker, because I usually lie about my age when I model, but I'm 30, okay? And I have not drinking actual milk, and just the thought of milk makes me sick. But that's, again, not me pushing anything. I'm just saying it's not the greatest. Cheese is really not a big yay in the clean food thing. It's not. It's about getting things that grow around you. However, if you are going to eat cheese, get it local, get it organic, or at least natural. Get it where there's no hormones at the very least. Same with eggs. If you're gonna eat eggs, yeah. This is like a stepping stone video, like tips to move into being able to start opening up more. With protein, almonds are a great substitute as well. And if you do cut out meat completely, but you really like the omegas that fish were giving you, avocados are so amazing. Avocados are like given to us for the avocados, acai, and pomegranate are like the psychic healer, whatever you want to call yourselves, like food given to us from the gods. So weird. Yeah, so water. Alright, so here now we're going to get into the area that a lot of people aren't going to want to hear. I am not a conspiracy theorist. I am not an Alex Jones fan. I think I said that in the last video. I am not any of that. However, the water that is given to us through our sink, through our pipe system, is not going to help with the pineal gland opening. It is not going to help with our spiritual cleansing at all. I was saving this for the last, because I pretty much put the gluten in with the milk. And I'm gonna do more of these videos. This is just like basic one, but water. Fluoride's not the greatest. Fluoride, there's no reason for fluoride to be in our water. I get it, cavities, dental care, but it's in toothpaste. And there's a reason they say don't swallow toothpaste. And it's not just the fluoride in the water. There's so many other chemicals in our water. Our pipes could be rusting and you don't know that. There's so much involved, and it's not just the fluoride. Most people just go straight to the fluoride. It's more than just the fluoride. Your best bet, you just get a 90-cent big jug of spring water or distilled water, and you can always get it refilled at certain places. If you live near a spring, or if you have a friend or family member that has well water or lives whatever, get that, or get a purifier to put onto your sink. But still, my one worry with that is like the pipes themselves and what could be letting off with the water. And the reason I say that is just from my own personal experience. I had an apartment in Milwaukee. My first apartment in Milwaukee, the water was always really calcified and had high iron, and there was some other weird cloudy stuff going on. And then there's a lot of issues with the pipes that we found out towards the end of my stay at that apartment. And like, I remember halfway through living there, I switched to getting water filled by one of the bigger co-ops in the area there, and I felt so much better. Like, I was going through a severe depression, and then all of a sudden, boop, back up. So it's not just the fluoride. So be careful about your waters. Teas are very good for you. Not Lipton, not, is it Nestle? I don't even know what like the processed teas are out there, but be careful when you're getting teas. Get the natural teas, make your own teas, look up recipes, get a satchel and make your own teas. I think that's pretty much it. It can be affordable because you can grow your own food. And I know that sounds crazy because a lot of us work numerous jobs, are in school, or single mothers, or whatever. Doesn't take much time to just like go and water them. There's also community gardens that a lot of the times depend. I mean, each one has their own rules, but some community gardens have deals where if you volunteer or do this or that, and like only come once a week or what have you, that you can get a portion of their food for free. Farmers markets are great because you get like a bulk of items for a very cheap price, and they tend to take food stamps. I have not heard of a farmers market yet that does not take food stamps, and a lot of the people at farmers markets don't use pesticides, which is the main, if you don't care about GMOs, but I do, but if you don't, pesticides are the problem for our nervous system and our pineal gland more than anything. So yeah, get a cheap blender. It doesn't have to be a special blender. Make juices. I mean, it would be preferred if you got a juicer. Maybe ask for it for your birthday or holiday from somebody if you can't afford one yourself. But blenders, you can, make various concoctions. There's some really awesome books, smoothie books out there, with really great recipes. If you're gonna get peanut butters and cereals and breads and things like that, here is a key thing to keep in mind. If you can't read the ingredients, don't get it. Peanut butter, there should only be 1 or 2, 3 tops ingredients in them. And these are the 3 ingredients that they should be. Peanuts, salt, and oil. Preferably you would just want the peanuts. But if there's anything else in there, that is not peanut butter, that is overprocessed, and that is not good for you. It is not good for you as a spiritual being. Breads. This is so hard, because again, back to the whole 60 years ago, bread was completely different. Once this whole processed food revolution thing started, extra gluten has been put into bread that normally wouldn't be there. So, according to many clean food diet people, you should get sprout. Don't look at bread and see the word wheat and think that it's automatically better than the cheap Wonder Bread white bread right over there, because it's not. Again, it's about looking at the ingredients. I tend to get sprout or flax. My daughter, who's a 2-year-old toddler, doesn't know the difference. But look at the ingredients. If there's more ingredients than you can count on one hand on most items of food, don't get it. A lot of clean food people would say there should be 1 or 2 ingredients. I say it tops 5. Again, go with, if you can't pronounce it, or if you don't know what the ingredient is, best bet, stay the hell away from it. Also, if you can't afford like fresh food right there in front of you, like spinach and kale, or you're worried that you might pay for this and then you're not going to use it, frozen is just fine. Just check again the ingredients on the back to make sure there wasn't any added weird stuff, artificial stuff. So that goes without saying too. Stay away from artificial flavors, sweeteners, coloring, and just no. Clean diet can be affordable, and I will talk about this more because this is already a 30-minute video and I didn't really get into everything I wanted. Please research clean eating, clean food. They don't usually talk about what I'm aiming at, which is like healers and third eyes and pineal glands and all that kind of stuff. But it's good to get an idea of what I'm talking about, and from nutritionists and people that are better qualified to discuss just that. But yeah, main things that when you start: berries, acai, pomegranates, apples, bananas, avocados, seaweed, spinach, kale. And then switch your milk, switch where you get your water from, look at ingredients, and remember the 5-finger rule of ingredients. And if you can't read it, you can't pronounce it, and you don't know what it is, don't get it. And fish for you meat eaters. And it's always best if you catch it yourself. That's my little tip there. So I will talk to y'all later. I can give more of a breakdown on different food groups to make this an easier thing. Again, sorry it's so long. I didn't make like a full outline list. I just thought that it wouldn't be this long, and I just go. So I love you all. If you enjoyed this topic, or if it was helpful, please press like. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe and press that little bell button. Also share, check out my shop. all natural, great holistic healing products and other aromatherapeutic crystals, things of that nature, jewelry. Check out all my other links, and I'll see you next time. I love you, and have a great week. Bye!